Hey everybody. Yeah, this is kind of my first video on here talking and everything, so I'm not used to this platform. But we're going to take this swim bait and we're going to do a rainbow trout pattern on it. So stay tuned. I'm going to get this thing primed up. I'm not going to make y'all watch all that part. I'm going to get it primed, make sure it's good and dry, and then I get my color selection set out so y'all can see what's going on there, and then we're going to go through the steps. All right, we have her primed. So the lure is primed, it's dry, it's ready for paint. Got our paint selection set out. I said this video is my first one here on YouTube, so bear with me a little bit here. But that's the color selection we're going to use. We're doing a rainbow trout, and so yeah, let me get all this set up and we'll be back. We have our pearl white mixed. That way it's all thinned down and everything and good to blow through the brush. So what we're going to do, we're going to spray the whole thing in pearl white first. I'm not used to having a camera right here in front of me, so it's going to take some getting used to on my end. Right now I'm using my phone, so that's definitely a really big bulky thing. A little bit more paint. Mix just a little bit more. Gotta get some more on that belly. Just need a couple drops more here. You mainly want to get the pearl white mainly on the sides and the belly, but it does help to get it on the entire lure. That way, if any of your paints are a little translucent or see-through, that pearl effect still comes through. Alright, that should be enough to finish it off. Now I'm going to dry this and we'll be right back. Got her good and dry. Now I've got my, I use a detail raw sienna. Even though it's a trout, I still put a little bit of a yellow tone into the belly. When it's done, it helps it have a really good natural look. You just want to do just a little bit. You don't want to really get too overdone with it. Help y'all see that a little better. Like I said, I'm still learning how this camera is going to work. A little bit up there toward the tail. Okay. And I don't try and get both sides exactly the same. Just try and get them to meet the design I'm trying to go for. I think that right there will work. Make sure we got it good on the belly. All right. There we go. Like I said, I like to put a little bit of yellow in the belly, just to, I think it helps add to the natural rainbow trout, or the what I call a stream bred, or natural breeding, whatever you want to call it. The ones that are not stocked, though, around where I live, they normally have a little bit more yellow in the belly, and they're not as solid white. The stock trout, you can usually tell them when you catch them because they'll have almost a solid white belly, it seems like. I don't know why. That's just in my area what I notice. I'm spraying the paint out of my brush right now, y'all. Get the next color mixed together, and we'll get that next color going. The next color we'll be doing will be the greens that come down on top, just a couple of them to kind of get us a platform set, and then we'll bring the pink red line into it, and we'll go from there. While I'm getting this green mixed up, like I said, I'm going to do a couple of different colors of green to help bring the top the way I want to. Like I said, I'm just getting started. If y'all would subscribe and follow, and that way you can follow my progression with this channel, I would much appreciate it. I'm not expecting much. It'd be nice to get some people in here showing some interest, telling me, kind of if they like this or not. I'm all about interaction. Tell me what you think about the lures when they're done. Of course, I won't be showing clear coats on here because I get a whole bunch of lures made up and clear coat all at one time. And I use my clear coat's Tamco 9500, so I definitely don't spray it without having my booth going and the proper respirator mask and everything, because it's some pretty harmful stuff. All right, let's get this green laid down a little bit here. And this isn't the main green. I build the green up in different coats of couple of different greens to help get the effect I'm looking for. Now we're using a pearl green. Put just a little bit into the tail, not a lot. Just a little bit more here. So I normally show most of my stuff over on other apps like TikTok and stuff like that. If you go onto an app and you look up Rainbow Custom Lures, that's usually what I use it as my name in any app. You'll be able to tell if I'm there or not. I said this is just the general green to lay down kind of the structure, I guess you'd say. Alright, now we're going to mix up some Bio Green, which is the Createx Bloodline. I find it really complements the iridescent green. I think I said pearl earlier, but pearl or iridescent green will work just fine. Now you just want to kind of stay towards the top and just gently come down with that darker green. So you don't want to spray it real heavy, just kind of let it pretty much just drop down on it. It'll give it a good speckled look. Do it from a little bit of a distance, and like I said, it'll help darken it up. If you do it from a distance with this particular paint, it seems to really give a good speckling look. See if I can get that to show in the camera better. I don't know if it will or not. So this is the camera on my phone, so I'm not expecting a whole lot as far as quality. And darken the base of the tail a little bit. I usually fade some just under the chin a little bit. I don't get a whole lot. You see how it gets that speckling effect, but I still darkened it. That really adds to the whole look of it. Get that to focus in again. There we go. And if y'all would give me feedback on what you think so far. I mean, like I said, this is my first channel, or my first video here. But any help would be greatly appreciated. And if people would subscribe, that would help me get to the proper amount of subscribers, and I can eventually do this live. People can watch me paint while we're live, and we could talk and communicate with each other, and kind of see how that goes. All right, the next color we're going to use, and what I'm talking about by the Createx is the Createx Bloodline by Tim Gore. I really like their colors. They usually don't need a whole lot of thinning, if any. Every now and then I might thin them. Most of the time I can get away with putting them straight to the brush. But what I use the pink for is I use it to lay the base for doing the lateral line through the middle of the trout. Because I do find that having a base of pink really helps, and then I will come in with a red and an orange later on. Let me get my air down on my brush here. All right. All right, that ain't too bad. So there's the pink line. We'll do that on both sides. And like I said, that's just the base. I'll try and get this out here where y'all can, or maybe at a quick focusing on my hands. Now I don't try and do super realistic paint jobs. I do try and get close. And we'll back off just a little bit to widen that up. I do try and get close, but I don't try and go super realistic. I do think that a rainbow trout needs to be semi-realistic, I guess what you would call it. So it doesn't have to be spot on, but it needs to be close. I'm gonna get my brush cleaned out. I did switch over to my detail brush for doing this part. It has an adjustable MAC valve that helps me really bring the pressure down and do what needs to be done. And if anybody wants to know the brushes I use or something like that, just write it in the comments and let me know, or message me. I'm still not sure how all this works. I'm assuming y'all can message with these videos, but yeah, I'm still learning on all this. So we'll just have to play it by ear and see how everything goes. I said, usually I'm on live with people and on other apps and everything, and I'm used to having, direct communication here, hearing their replies back and everything. So YouTube's a little bit different for me. Been on YouTube for a while, just never used it. Yeah, I'm not a professional or anything like that. I don't do this as a job. This is strictly a hobby for me. It's all non-profit. Anytime I sell a lure or repaint a lure or something like that for somebody, and just anything I paint for people, it all goes right back into this. I don't make anything off of it. I can honestly say 100% of it goes right back into either lure blanks or eyes or hooks, paint. It goes right back into this hobby. The next paint we're going to use is going to be the blood red, and we're just going to gently fade that probably about 3/4 of this line, and we're going to fade it up into it. The blood red comes out, it takes a little bit to darken it up most of the time. Now it's going to probably make a liar out of me today since I'm doing a video, but if I just fade that in, it usually does a really good job of bringing that proper tone right in. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. Like I said, I don't want it to go red. I just want that hint of red in there, kind of like a blushing. Kind of like that right there. See, we still got some pink right here toward the gill, and then it goes red and gets a little bit pink toward the tail again. But I didn't go heavy on the red, so it's still got that pink tone. And you ain't gotta try and have a perfect straight line. There's not a rainbow trout out there that has a perfect straight line. And if you get a little bit of that red faded down onto that ochre or that sienna, it helps accent it a little bit too. Alright, now let me get that color swapped out on my brush. And we're actually going to come in the last quarter of that lateral line, and we're going to use a burnt orange color. It just helps give that little bit of that lateral line seems to most of the time get a little bit darker toward the tail. So it really aids in that whole visual effect. This color ran out of my brush, and we'll swap over to that orange. takes a little bit on the detail brush. It sprays a little slower. All right. So, now we'll swap over to the detailed burnt orange. Like I said, it just adds a little bit towards the tail. Shook up real good here. Now this color I will have to mix. The burnt orange is part of the Wicked line, and they are really good at being airbrush ready, but they do need to be reduced just a little bit. It don't take much. And the cup on my detail brush is large enough I can actually mix it inside the brush, so I ain't gotta dirty up a mixing cup. There we go. Yep. Alright, and like I said, we're just gonna do this back portion right here, like the last quarter. It's not gonna be a whole lot. We're just gonna bring it in. That right there. So let's bring it just a little bit further. There we go. I find that, you know, even though it's strange, I find that layering them colors really does help. Get this where it's not focusing on my hand. I'm sorry, people. But layering the colors really helps make the whole effect that I'm looking for. Now someone else can probably do this without layering. They can probably do it with single color. It's just the way I prefer to do it. I might even bring a little bit on that sienna, just dust it on there to kind of help bring some more of that fleshy color out. Burnt oranges are really good when used lightly. It helps make a good flesh tone as well. All right, that's what we're looking for there. Now let me get the stencil out for doing the speckle details, and we're almost done. Black I'm going to use for the dots and everything. Like I said, I'm not going super realistic, so we're just going to use the black. But as a Tropical Glitz, it is their Abyss Black. It's a really fast drying paint that works really good for details because it does dry fast. And the stencil we're going to use is the Anarchy Model HS46. It's the Creature Features 9, the Modeled Micro. And it does a really good job. We'll try it and stay with just in the gills here. And we're going to come mainly on the green and come just a little bit right above the lateral line a little. You know, it's probably going to fade into it just a little bit, but that's pretty much all we're going to do on that. So let me get the brush loaded up. Now this paint is a solvent-based paint, so if anyone does go out and get it, be sure to have a spray booth or something if you're going to use it a whole lot. The little bit I'm going to use it here, I'm not too worried. I would normally use the booth, but it's a little loud. But for the little bit that I'm going to use it here, I think we'll be okay. So we're going to take this and we're going to put it right up on it here. So I'm not used to doing this with a camera, so this bait will probably turn out a little bit different till I get used to having a camera right here on me. I'm sorry, I'm blocking the camera. There we go. There's the side. We're going to bring that all the way to the top. I like to do the top first because it helps the sides to blend a little better, I think. I say the sides, but it's really the shoulders of the sides. All right, sorry about that. Food was brought to me, so I have something to eat when I get done here. But all I've done is turn the bait around. So we're going to get the gills on this side. Okay, get the nose a little bit. There we go. Gotta get them speckles in there. Trout's gotta have speckles, especially a rainbow trout. Try and get this thing, there we go. You ain't gotta be super precise when doing the dots. By no means are they precise on a real trout. Now, like I said, the shoulder, doing that top first, and it gives you a line here on the shoulder. But when you go do the shoulder now, since you got the top and the sides already done, I think it just helps it all blend a little bit more natural. Now, if you wanted to, you could bring some down into the bottom and stuff like that. That's completely up to you. That's not how I do it, but that's, you know, everyone's got their own preference. Now I'm going to darken the tips of the tail just a little bit. We're going to use that same black just to help shade it in. Alright, now I will darken around the eyes. I ain't going to go jet black around the eye. I'm just going to darken it just a little bit. That way when we put eyes in it, it does help it out. Now we'll put eyes in it and clear coat it later. But that is the rainbow trout that I do. I think it turns out really good. Let me know what y'all think. I will try and I think I got some clear coating to do later, so I might get a clear coat of this. If not, keep an eye on the shorts videos and or clips or whatever you want to call them. And I'll definitely have this soon in a short, clear coated and showing it off. Until then, if y'all want to, like I said, subscribe and follow my channel here. Help me out, help me get more subscribers, more views. let's see where this channel goes. Like I said, this is my first video, I guess you would say. I've got one other one and a couple shorts and stuff like that, but this is my first one where I'm actually doing something and talking. So it's a little strange, even though I've been on other apps. It's different. But yeah, if there's comments on here, please leave comments. Let me know what you think, what you might want to see later on. So until then, I love y'all. I hope you have a good day and even better tomorrow. Bye-bye.